very little time for you to be performing any of these tracks live, but there was the one show I think in Paris recently where you got to perform a few of the songs from this album.
Yep, I did a solo show in Paris, and I did it with Damon. Our records came out a week apart, so he also sang with me. Actually, we sat on the same piano bench, and he played whirling and I played piano, and he sang, because he sings on that song Get My Bearings. But it was great to play some of those songs. We also did a Tony Allen tribute show in London a week later at Royal Festival Hall, and I played a couple of the songs there with the band. That was amazing. And now I've just been rehearsing with my band, getting arrangements going for the upcoming touring.
So the ones that I saw being performed in Paris, I didn't see, but I read about being performed in Paris, Barbarian, Geometry of You, and Get My Bearings. Are they going to form the sort of the centerpiece of your Australian tour when you come down here? Will this album be sort of central to the Joan As Police Woman set list in 2022?
That's for sure. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I will perform the entire record if I can, but I think I probably won't have time. So, I mean, I'll probably be doing 6 songs from the record and then, 10 songs from the back catalog, something like that. Yeah.
It must be very difficult for you to put a set list together these days, with a catalog dating back 31 years.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have.
With the Damon Albarn work that you were doing, because that goes back to his Gorillaz album. Is that when you first met Damon?
Actually, we met in Ethiopia, of all places, in 2010. He and Ian Burrell, who is a journalist, who was the editor for the Independent for a while and now does freelance. Ian Burrell and Damon put an organization together called Africa Express to bring mostly Western musicians to different countries in Africa to learn about the music and ultimately collaborate. And so I attended that, and that's where I met Damon. We had done some shows together, but I hadn't really met him. So we got close then, and then we've just stayed close, and we wrote a song for the last Gorillaz record, and he sang on this record. It's easy to work with him because he's great.
I would imagine when you get down here, you will most definitely have to Take Me to Your Leader in the set list, considering the lady it's about.
Yes, I wrote this song about Jacinda Ardern, watching her navigate the pandemic, especially in light of the unmentionable who is running our country and the disaster that ensued. But watching her clearly make decisions on behalf of humanity seems so obvious, but isn't in my country. It's all about politics and insanity, it seems like these days. But just watching her feel like she was trying to protect the people in her country was very inspiring to me. So I had a dream of the leaders of my country and probably most other countries, going to her and asking her advice, hey, how would you deal with this problem? How are you navigating the pandemic? And getting her thoughts about it. I feel like leaders basically think they're supposed to know everything already and don't ask, and then make horrible decisions anyway. So that song is about leaders going to her and saying, Jacinda, how would you handle this?
Seems a pretty simple solution, doesn't it? Just making a choice, what's right for the people, as opposed to how much collateral damage can we wear.
I don't know what the politics are in your country right now, but in a lot of other countries, they're real dire.
There's so much history that you've got to deal with when you put together a set list. Like you say, you know, if there's 6 songs from the new album and you've got like, you know, 10 or a dozen to play with to, you know, fill the rest of the set. How far back do you go? Do you go back to the Dambuilders? Do you go through those Bastard Souls? Do you drop a bit of everything in?
No, I just take from the 10 Joan As Police Woman records. You know, there's plenty of songs to choose from my own catalog. It's way too much.
Absolutely. But, you know, is there a fan expectation occasionally? Do you get the occasional shout from the crowd for one of those earlier songs?
From my previous bands? No, actually never. That's never actually happened. Maybe you'll be the first.
Yeah. Because there have been, you know, some marvelous little benchmarks along the way. Those Bastard Souls featuring Fred Armisen on drums.
That's right.
Who coincidentally enough, I woke up this morning, there's a brand new, for the first time ever, a George Harrison My Sweet Lord video that was just dropped this morning, starring Fred.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I know he told me about it, but I know I haven't seen it. He loves George so much, and he's friends with the estate.
It must be great, you know, being in the position you are. You've had a lot of people, you know, invite you to be part of their world, like the Placebo thing, for instance, on MTV Unplugged. Are these friends? So you just get the phone call, "Hey Joan, will you come on down?"
Some of them are friends. They were not friends. They were just fans, and they said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I said, "Sure." Yeah. But some of them, I mean, I think if you stay in the music, like if you continue to make music and continue to tour and make albums, you end up knowing everyone. You know, it's just sort of like if within your industry, if you just keep doing it, you end up just knowing so many people because we're all connected, really, you know. I mean, we had an interview, 25 years ago?
Yeah, it's funny how here we are all these years ago and we're still around.
There's a lot of survivors. I mean, Fred being one of them. There are a lot of survivors, thankfully.
Well, you've had the chance to work with some interesting people. Lou Reed pops up as somebody that you've been involved with. What did you do with Lou?
I toured with him. I supported him on his tour on the when he toured that record that he made with the Metallica, but he was not playing it with Metallica on tour. He was playing it with his band. So the arrangements of that music with his band were, in my opinion, really cool. So yeah, I did that, but I had known him for quite a few years before that. I played on, I was part of the string section for the Poe stuff he did, but then let's see, I was the musical director for Hal Willner's Neil Young project, and Lou was part of that, so I got to work with him in that way. But then we just became friends, and you know, it's also like New York. It's like you keep making music and you get to know everybody in New York. You know, I knew Lou for quite a while and just sort of kept my distance because, you know, it's like he's got a lot going on. And then just one day, after a number of years of doing some sessions with him and just being around, he just was like, "Hey, Joan." And I said, "Hey, Lou, how's it going?" He's like, "It's good. How are you?" And then we were friends.
I love how you've paid tribute to a lot of the artists that you've loved with the 2 covers albums, Cover and Cover 2. Let's talk about Cover 2 firstly, because of that cover, which is the Loverboy cover, but no Loverboy cover on the album.
But see, the first record is also a cover of an album cover. It's just less well known. both records cover an album cover as the front cover. But yeah, I don't play any of the music. I don't cover songs from those records. I cover songs from a lot of other records.
Well, number one was, Bowie, Hendrix, Adam of the Ants, Sonic Youth. You could see sort of the, they all fit together. But when we get to the second one, we're very varied, aren't we? Going from Prince and the Strokes to Gil Scott-Heron.
It's all music. It's all music I love. I don't really, I have to be honest, like, I actually see so much connection between that, but I grew up playing classical music. So, I mean, Stravinsky is very punk rock. It's like Beethoven is like sometimes pretty like shoegazy. Brahms is more shoegazy. I mean, it's like all music. So I mean, I know what you mean, but like that's just all music that I really love.
So it's very indicative then, I guess, of your personal taste then, a very diverse personal taste.
Yeah, I like music. It's just got to be good. I like good music.
We'll be more than excited to see Joan As Police Woman in Australia.
Same with us.
Well, Joan, it's been great to talk to you, and we will see you in Australia in 2022.
Can't wait.